Hi, thanks for joining me at My Little Pretty Crafts. Today we're going to be using the Petal Potpourri stamp set, and this is going to be the first in a series of videos where I show you how to really stretch the stamp set so that you can get lots and lots of projects out of it. I know sometimes I struggle with seeing a stamp set that I really like and then I'm not sure exactly what to do with it once I get it home. So today we're going to be doing this really pretty card. It's a little you made my day, maybe thanks or appreciation card. So let's get started. But before we do, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss a video. Thanks so much for watching. So here's our card, a really bright and cheery thank you or appreciation card. I love this color scheme of the bright pinks and the pop of yellow. So I started out with a standard size card base. This is Melon Mambo, and I cut it in half and then scored it at 4 1/4. I also cut 2 rectangular frames that are going to be used to mat our card today. So let's get started with the stamping. I'm going to be using the solid flower stamp included in the set, as well as this little flower center, and I've already pre-mounted them. And we're going to be stamping them. I'm using the Stampin' Pierce mat because I think it helps give a better impression with these really solid stamps. So we'll start with Regal Rose. And you'll want to stamp with the larger petal of the flower facing up. This will help it make it much easier to punch out the flower when we get to that step. It's a nice impression. Clean off with a baby wipe in between colors. Next we will do Melon Mambo. There we go. And now Pink Pirouette. Now that we've finished the flowers, we'll stamp the flower centers. I'm using Daffodil Delight. And then for one of the centers, I'll be using Melon Mambo. All right, now we can punch them out. So you'll just insert the punch just like this, and it's really easy to line up if you orient the flowers, like I mentioned, with the petals facing up. Ask me how I know. I spent a long time trimming out little pieces of paper so that I could get my punch in. It's much easier this way. All right, and now we'll do the flower centers. I really love the coordinating punches. It makes it so much easier than getting out the die cut machine, which I do quite often, but for a card like this, it just really makes it quick and easy. So we'll set these aside for a minute. As long as we have our punches out, we'll go ahead and make the leaves for our flowers. I just have a scrap of green cardstock. I'm pretty sure this is, I don't know, maybe it's gumball green. We're gonna punch 2 flowers, and these will become our leaves. We're done with stamping, so we can move that out of the way. And we'll bring in the scoreboard. And basically we're just going to score right down the center of the flower in the middle of the large petal. And that will give our leaves a little bit of dimension. Just like that. Now we can take our leaves and just trim from in between the larger and the smaller leaf, just right towards the center, into a leaf shape. And then you can just fold these right along the score line up just a little bit. So let's assemble our flowers. I used a dimensional on the back of each of the flower center, just to give it a little bit of extra dimension. And now for the leaves, I like to use some fast fuse. I know that you could use snail, you could use Tombow. This just is what I had out on the table, and so I just put a little bit right at the edge, and then make sure you, whoops, use your little check mark motion so that the tape releases easily. And we'll stick these right on the back. Just whatever looks good to you. There's really no rhyme or reason here. This would actually be a pretty easy card to mass produce once you got all your flowers stamped and punched and ready to go. You might even make a few extra of these so that you could pop them on another card or an envelope or something like that. They're really pretty fun. So now let's do our stamping on the card base. I've got my rectangle piece here, and I'll be using the Best Day Ever stamp set. This is from the Celebration. You can get this for free if you spend $50. I really like these fun little bits and pieces here, and then this sentiment, "You made my day," is what we're going to be using today. So I've mounted that already on a Fiskars stamp press. I really find that this makes it easy to line up photopolymer stamps wherever I want them to be, and it gives you a little bit of give, a little bit of wiggle room before you stamp so you can place it perfectly. So we'll be using Melon Mambo. And I'm going to position it right down here. Press down. This is also a thinner piece of plastic, and so it gives you a little bit of give as you're stamping, so you get a nice clean impression. So now I think it is a little bit easier to mount this onto your card base first so that you can place the flowers exactly where you'd like them to be. So I'll go ahead and adhere that now. And now we're ready to apply our flowers. So I like to just play around a little bit before I adhere anything down. And what's nice about this arrangement is you can kind of go just a little bit off the edge of the mat. I think that adds just a little extra something to the card. So I kind of like that. What you could do is take a picture with your iPhone or other camera if you are doing an arrangement like this and you want to make sure that you get it exactly right. That's a helpful reference as you take these off and apply the adhesive. So this one is going to be popped up on dimensionals, so we'll put those on now. So we'll set that one aside, and then I think I'll use some Tombow just because I have those flowers. You could use a dry adhesive, but we'll just use Tombow. Glue this one down as well. Tombow is nice because it gives you a little bit of wiggle room if you need to shift the placement at all. And then we'll go ahead and adhere our final flower right on top. And we have our finished card. Thanks so much for joining me. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and give me a big thumbs up so that YouTube knows that you'd like to see more videos, and I will see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.